Welcome back everybody, Dan here for Sim Racing Source. Thanks so much for joining in for today's video. So today I'm going to be talking about something that a lot of people don't consider to be in the sim racing genre. However, it is a series of games that I have loved for a long time and do look forward to when they produce new games. So what I'm going to be talking about is the Forza Motorsports series. I know a lot of you guys know that I'm a big fan of the Forza Horizon series for fun, but the Forza Motorsport series is supposed to be their more serious gaming series, or their more serious racing series. So they have kind of lost me with the last couple. The gameplay you're seeing here is actually Forza Motorsport 7 on the PC, but there are a lot of things that they made changes to in the last couple renditions of the Motorsport game that I didn't really like. But I want to talk about today why I'm very excited for the future of the franchise and Forza Motorsports 8 in particular. Now, as of right now, there is not very much information out there on Forza Motorsports 8. So what I'm going to be talking about here is going to be based on a very little bit of information the developers have released, as well as some speculation of my own. So the big thing that everybody knows is that there's not going to be a release. We're not going to see a release in 2019 in Forza Motorsports. Typically, they release the Motorsports series every 2 years and the Horizon series every 2 years. So Forza, the game Forza in general, they typically release a product every year. And I have felt like the last few renditions have been rushed. And when you rush a game to get it out, you have some issues. But the developers have admitted that they are not going to release one this year. So that's really good. That means that they're taking their time building a good game or a good simulator. I do believe it is, it is a simulator. You are simulating driving cars. While maybe not as good as some people might expect, it still is a simulator of sorts. So they are taking their time and building a game that people want. They've said that. The other big thing that they have said is they're going to make the next Forza Motorsports less about collection and more about building your own car. They've said this specifically. Now, this is huge news because the recent Forza games have become about collecting as many cars as possible, and you're not really you don't build a bond with one specific car or a few specific cars. So being that they're going to be not thinking about collection and more about building a bond with one car or a few specific cars, that's huge. That means they're going back to their roots. And Forza Motorsports 2 and 3 and even 4, that's what those titles were about. It was about building a car gradually as you go. You start out small, no money, you buy a cheap car, you build it up, build it up, build it up until you're able to afford a more expensive, faster car, and then you build that one up. And that is more enjoyable to me and as well as many other people. That is what the community has been saying. And Turn 10 Studios has said that they are going to move away from focusing on collection of cars and moving towards making some kind of commitment and making some kind of relationship with a few specific cars while you're making your way through the game. So that is really, really awesome. It's great that they're going back to their roots. The reason that I believe, now this is speculation, the last thing I said was based on things that developers have said. This is speculation. I believe that the reason why they have not come out with the game, or they're not going to come out with one in 2019, is because I believe that this is going to be a next generation console release. I believe it's going to be a day one game. I think that's what they've done in the past. I think that's what they're going to do. So whatever the new Xbox console ends up being, this game is going to be a day one release, and I think that's why we're going to have to wait a while to get it. Now, I don't play on console much anymore. I am a PC gamer, but being that this game is going to be developed for next gen consoles means more than likely it's going to work a lot better on our PCs, because the next generation consoles basically are going to be gaming PCs from what I can tell, and that's both on the Xbox side and as well on the PlayStation side. So every time Forza Motorsports has released a game and ported it over to PC, it's collectively, or it's gotten better and better each rendition. I remember when they first came out with Forza 6 Apex on the PC, it's plagued with bugs. It had, even if you run it on a high-end system, it still has really bad problems with frame drops, stuttering, and stuff like that. But each time they've come out with a rendition, that has gotten better and better. Forza 7, which you're seeing in the background, is pretty decent, but it still has some frame issues. And then Forza Horizon 4, for me, which has been their latest, has been absolutely flawless. It works perfectly on the PC. So I have this feeling, and I'm speculating again here, that the Motorsports 8 game will be great. And hopefully, they had a lot of outpour and anger when they introduced the homologation system in Forza Motorsport 7, which was absolutely terrible. And the community hates it. So there's really no point in building up a car and doing custom parts and custom tuning when you're thrown into the race. It's just going to make you on a level playing field with everybody else out on track, whether that's AI drivers or people online. There's no point in you doing anything to a car if it's just going to homologate the cars to be all equal at the beginning of a race. It's just no point. And everybody hated that. So here again, I'm speculating, but I do believe they're going to remove that, or at least reduce that in a very, very large fashion, because if they're going back to basing on building up cars and not necessarily collection, that means if they want you to focus on building up a car, they're not going to just turn around and remove parts or add parts when you jump into the race. Again, guys, this is speculation, but from what I've heard so far in the community and from what little information I've heard from the developers, I am actually honestly getting excited about Motorsports 8, and I hope that you guys are too. I know a lot of you don't even consider playing games like that, and that's fine, but I do. I still do love the Forza Motorsport series. The older ones are better to me than the new ones, but I'm super excited for what we have to offer in Forza Motorsports 8. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button. If you're not subscribed, definitely hit the subscribe button. We are on a roll here in October. I'm trying to release as many videos as I possibly can. And yeah, so that's going to be it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I definitely appreciate it. So we will see you in the next video.